JK, yeah, just keeping it real. Love, life, and relationships. Come on. Just keeping it real, y'all. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Come on. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Charles and Melendia. Are we done?
What's up, family?
What's up, fam?
Hey, just keeping it real with Charles and
Melendia.
Yes, sir. Hey, we're glad you tuned in with us today, and we have an episode that we want to share some ideas with you. But before we go into any of that, we ask that you, definitely click the like button, the subscribe button as well, and make comments because we want to hear your opinions, don't we?
Absolutely.
And I thank the Lord for my wife of almost 36 years.
Yes, I thank the Lord for this man, for knowing him for almost 43 years.
Okay, knowing about 43, married almost 36, so a blessing. And in those years, we've seen some things.
We've seen some things.
Yes, we've done some things.
Done some things.
Made some mistakes.
Yep. And
got it right.
Progress.
Yep.
Made some progress.
Yeah, we did. So we want to say, we come to you, we just open our lives out, and we ask that, we don't know whether you appreciate it or not. So if you would, just send us a comment to let us know. If we're doing something to help or enhance your life, your marriage, your relationship, let us know. Give us the encouragement.
Yes.
That's what we all need to do,
We
encourage
appreciate
each
that
other.
too. Yeah. So, first thing that you would want to know is, what is our purpose?
Our purpose. Number one, our purpose is to empower all people in hopes of doing what?
Building a stronger world. And we need that. We really do. So,
and we need your efforts to help us.
Yeah. As we're a tribe, we can do this together.
Right.
So
you're probably asking the question, who are we?
Who are we?
Well, we are relationship advocates. And what does that mean to you?
That means that we publicly.
Right.
We do what?
And we recommend the strengthening of healthy relationships.
Healthy relationships.
And again, you may ask even further, so what does that mean?
What does that mean? We've said that on our podcast before. So what do we mean by healthy relationships? That's
our topic for today.
Absolutely.
So we want to break it down. We want to go in and we want to share some ideas that we've, hashed out. We've come up with some ideas, some things we want to share. And we have some resources as well from some of the ideas we have. So, what does a healthy relationship look like?
Yeah. Does it look like this right here?
Maybe.
Maybe
not. Okay. So, go ahead and give us a description of a healthy relationship.
Well, what is described as a healthy relationship? Well, according to Healthline research, it is best described as interdependent.
Interdependence. You probably say. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we rely on each other, for mutual support, and we still, at the same time, maintain our own identity.
Absolutely.
So, in other words, there is a balance there. We support one another, we love one another, but we don't depend on one another for self-esteem or self-confidence.
So, in our research, we realized that there are 4 C's. We came up with 4 C's of looking at this as a healthy relationship.
Okay. 4 C's to a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Number 1.
One is communication.
Communication.
You hear that all the time. People talk about it all the time. Other relationship specialists talk about communication. But what did you come out of it when we talk about one of these 4 C's? What does that mean to you when you say communication?
Communication. Well, one thing about communication, if it's 2 people in a relationship, effective communication is when one person transmit, whether that's idea or whatever they're transmitting, in communication, and a person receiving. When they receive that idea or that communication, then they understand it. That's good or effective communication.
And what tends to happen is when you don't really understand what has been transmitted? Is that really clear communication?
Well,
Or effective communication?
there could be a breakdown from the transmission, the person not say things in the way they mean, and the person picking it up different. So it could be a mistransmission or miscommunication from either end, transmitting, sending, and receiving. It could be that.
That's why it's important, I think, that in communication you both understand what the other is saying.
And sometimes it's good to repeat, what you heard, and you say, well, okay, help me understand. What you're saying is this. So what I understand you to say is that this, that, and that.
Right.
And I think that helps us to have more effective communication.
Yeah.
Because again, with us, we have our issues with communication, and we've shared that with you.
Yeah.
And so we are still a progress in work. So
the
absolutely.
second C is compromise.
Compromise.
Yeah, and sometimes we look at that as one-sided, like I'm going to have to not do this and sacrifice so he can do it, but it's not necessarily like that.
Yeah, I think there can be a balance and compromise. And one of the things we talked about was, for instance, if I wanted to come home and lounge or do whatever, and my wife say, hey, look, can we ride our bikes? Let's do it on a weekly basis. Let's do 4 days a week. And I'm like, oh, that's a lot. And I say, hey, why not 2 days a week? And then we come up and say, look, let's get a balance. Let's both compromise. And we end up at 3 days a week. And we both gave up something. I added an extra day. She
took away a day.
But we came to an agreement.
Right.
That's a balanced compromise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the next one is commitment.
Commitment.
Yeah.
Wow. So, in other words, commitment, that's the thing. That's one of the things a lot of people are afraid of nowadays. Because a lot of people run from commitment.
Yeah.
They run from commitment in relationships. They run from commitments on contracts and that thing. Oh, I don't want to be tied up. I don't want to be this. And yet, commitment is one of the, as we say, the vital C's, one of the 4 C's to basically a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
So commitment is one of those things. Am I in this for the long haul? Am I in this? Is this ride or die? Or is this when everything's look tight, I'm out? So you've got to establish that in a relationship to have that healthy foundation.
Yeah. And so our last 4 C in healthy relationships is conflict.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Now, there's a misconception out there that people think that, hey, if we have conflict, that means our relationship is unhealthy. But not think again. Not necessarily. Because guess what? Conflict is normal for relationships. Because if you never go through conflict, you may not ever know how sound or solid your relationship is.
Exactly.
So, conflict is not the thing that gauges an unhealthy relationship. But what is
how you resolve.
How you
conflict.
resolve.
How you deal with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if she and I come in with conflict, and what we're doing, we're throwing pots and pans and glasses at each other, then that might be a sign
of an unhealthy
relationship. Absolutely.
So
4 C's.
4 C's.
Again,
communication, compromise,
commitment, and conflict.
Absolutely. So we also dug in that a little bit and talked about some ingredients of healthy relationships.
And it's a couple we're going to share.
Yeah.
Number 1 is empathy.
Yeah.
What is empathy?
Empathy. It's emotion, I think. It's what you actually can have for the person. To actually be relatable, I think, and have some I don't know so much sympathy, but it's basically being able to feel and understand how a person
feel what you feeling. Absolutely. And we gotta have that, because again, if you're feeling something, I'm like, whatever, woman, and I can't get on that level to say, hey, I feel where you're coming from. So we've got to have more of that in our relationship, and that is again one of the ingredients for a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
So one of the last ones,
love.
Love. What is love?
To me, it is some sense of emotion. He had a little difference of opinion of that.
Well, emotion isn't involved, but I think as we grow up, you hear the saying, oh, what is love? Love is a strong emotion. You hear that kind of thing. Well, that's part of it. And then we heard as children coming up, what is love? God is love. We heard that as well. So what I'm saying, take the two of those and kind of merge to a degree. And when you hear that about God's love, it said God so loved the world that he did what? Gave. So love is giving.
Yes.
You know, so what I'm saying, if you love a person, there would be a time of giving. But guess what? The most thing that you can give to another person in a relationship or marriage is what? Yourself. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Give yourself.
And therefore, it's unconditional.
Unconditionally.
So
Giving of yourself.
Those two main ingredients that we just talked about, you know, those are vital organs to a relationship.
And a healthy relationship at that.
Absolutely.
So, in conclusion, what are we saying?
In conclusion, we are saying check to see if you are demonstrating the qualities that it takes for a healthy relationship.
And what do we want you to do?
Do a self-examination.
Self-examination.
So we came up with some questions. We came up with some questions that you may even want to ask yourself. 6 questions.
Number 1.
1 is, do I make this relationship better?
Number 2, do I contribute to quality time when we're together? What's my contribution?
3, do I set a tone of give and take in this relationship? Is it an equal exchange?
Number 4, do I accept him or her for who they are?
Number 5, am I sincere and really wanting to make this relationship work?
Number 6, last question. Am I committed to making this relationship work?
Absolutely. So these are vital questions to sustainable relationships. And if you've answered any of these questions, no, that could be a sign.
Could be a sign
that your relationship is in trouble.
It's in trouble and need help.
And just remember, this is not so much as just, companion relationship.
Right.
These questions and these thoughts could be relationships with your family.
Friends.
Co-workers.
Yes.
Are you having issues with relationships, period? And if so, check yourself. Go back over and listen to these self-examination questions that we put together and see, are you a contributing factor, or is it something going on that's missing? And if it's not, then you need to work on some things.
And we always say that if it's too big for you to resolve, too much for you to resolve, sometimes it's best to get professional help in resolving issues in relationships and family.
Yeah, absolutely. So, thanks for tuning in for this podcast. And
we hope it was productive.
It was productive for me.
Yes. We hope it was productive for you.
Yeah.
As well. Until next time. Stay believing.
Stay blessed. And you see you next time.
Till next time. Right.
Bye.
See ya.
J. Kerr, just keeping it real. Love, life, and relationships. Come on. Just keeping it real, y'all. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Come on. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Charles&Melendia. Are we done?